There is people that are doing an amazing job trying to take care of this situation in the hospitals and trying to assess the situation and take care of the patient. So like I think we should feel fortunate that we're home in good health and not in the hospitals right now dealing with the disease. So everything is all right on my end. It's humbling. I think our main goal as a sports organization, as coaches, as players, is to entertain people. I think sports is one of the biggest source of entertainment in the world, and being stuck at home, like for all of us, is also like is a source of frustration. But it shows also like the impacts that we have on people's life. Like I think in this time, like everybody wish we could have like more live sports on TV and be able to have that light atmosphere of cheering a team or like just watching something entertaining. So I think it's been humbling to stay home and to be dealing with the same situation than anyone else. I think it puts our work into perspective, and I think it's also a good time to self-reflect on our lives, of course, with this situation, but also on our work and how we can get better when we come back. Different parts. The first part, I would say, I think Gary Walker spoke with you guys a couple of days ago, last week, about that. I think the main part and the first thing was how can we get the players to stay fit. We just finished preseason. We only played 2 games, so like one of the main challenge was like how can we maintain that level of fitness like through the weeks. Managing that situation. So Gary and his staff have been doing an amazing job, like the medical staff, the fitness staff being on top of things and providing programs, taking care of the players. So that was the first big goal for us, is getting that up and running like as fast as possible. And they've been doing it, and the players have been very good with it, and I've been very happy from the feedback that we got. So this department is on daily basis in contact with the players and try to provide as much information as possible to make sure that everybody is on top of his things and taking care of his body and trying to maintain that level of fitness even if the situation is not optimal. We try to do our best. The second I would say goal for myself and for the staff was to provide also like on the coaching aspect some sorts of feedback or some sorts of projects for the team. So the first project was how can we self-reflect of what we've done in the past 2 months. So we sent out a questionnaire last week to the players to self-reflect, but also reflect on their goals for the season, their short-term goals, but long-term goals, but also like what is their plan to reach these goals and how can we have an impact on these plans to reach their goals. So that was the first part on the coaching aspect. And now we're moving to the second part, which is like we have some other projects. So moving forward, we're going to have some individual video sessions with a couple of players. So like on Zoom, like being able to discuss, like to interact with players. We watch either the first 2 games of the season for the guys that have played, but also like some preseason games for the guys that haven't been involved in the first 2 games of the season. So this is going to be the second part. And like with that tool, the video, we can also do some stuff like that I discovered like in the past few days. You can share a screen and they can take control of the mouse and be able to move like magnets on the screen of the laptop. So we can also have some discussion about tactics, and that's what we're gonna do like moving forward. And the last part of that on the coaching aspect is also like how can we like develop that sense of belonging within the club? How can we give back to the players of our own academy? So that's the third thing for me. I wanted to increase that relationship with the academy because like the academy is new. It's a new season for us. We have new players, and I know like I've been working. I worked in an academy before, so I know what it is for the kids to look up to the players of the first team and be like, oh, this guy, like I want to be like him. I want to be doing the same thing. I want to take his place in 3, 4, 5 years. So the idea was, and that's what we're going to try to implement next week, to create like small groups of players per position that are going to be available for the same players in the same position, like within the academy, and just do a Q&A. So the fullbacks are going to be with the fullbacks of the academy, and the young players are going to ask questions to the first team player, just to develop that sort of relationship, and also provoke a little bit of self-reflection coming from the first team players, but also develop also that connection that we can have within the club. And the last thing, so there was the performance side, the coaching side, and the last thing for me is the long term. Like, we're a new club, like we moved into MLS, it's our second season. Gerard arrived last year with a lot of different projects. We worked with different tools, like we started to use different software. So on that aspect, like I'm quite involved on a daily basis. So we're having a lot of meetings, like working on that. How can we implement that long-term vision, that long-term club philosophy? So there's a lot of things that we can do right now about like this type of meetings, but also putting in place like presentation that summarize what is our timeline, how we're gonna do things. So like a couple of examples can be that software. We have a software since last year that we started to use, that collects data for us to be able to look back, reassess our work, but also collect informations. We're working on developing that. KPIs, we have implemented a playing style, a club philosophy since Gerard arrived, and now we need to have we need to identify the profile that fits into that philosophy. So now it's a lot of work about how can we identify clearly these profiles, link it to the video, link it to the data, and collect all of this and work on this. So there is a lot of things, and there is also, like I said it for the players, but it's also valuable for the staff and the people in the club. There's also a lot of self-reflection. How can we get better in this period? How can we watch over games, like start to get information on the other teams in the league? Like every team has played 2 games before we stopped. So we have videos that we can now study and start looking at to get an idea of what was the feeling after these 2 games in the season. So just trying to maximize the time to be a little bit like proactive for when we're gonna get back to the training facilities.